Welcome to Roze Koze podcast. Every Wednesday, you will hear beautiful voices from Bella, artist and graphic designer, and Mia, video editor. Our mission is to spread our positive vibrations, and for this season, we prepared sexy ones.
I would like to talk mostly about this dominance and submissiveness and the relation. So I often go on Tinder, sometimes for pure research. And when I speak to guys, I realize that they see dominance as weakness. Sorry, no, submissiveness. I'm sorry. I said wrong.
Okay.
So they I think they mistaken submissiveness for weakness of sort.
They don't look. They don't look. If somebody is preparing to degrade herself for me, if somebody is prepared to be whipped by me and wants to give me that and dares to enjoy that in a world that blames her because you shouldn't do that, that woman, in my case, being hetero, that woman is fucking. She is strong. I don't like to. I like to do degrading things with you, but I don't want you to be degraded. I want to be proud as a slave. I want you to say, yeah, I dare to do this for you. And look at me, I'm still beautiful and I'm still wonderful, and I had the power to give this to you. I can only be thankful and be in awe about what she does. That's not smaller. The things I do may be degrading, but she is really strong that she wants to give that to me.
Okay, maybe that also has to do, with men and women. Men, if they admit that they are submissive, they just feel like they are seen in a world differently. From what I know, most men who are submissive sexually, they are very dominant in every other area and every other aspect of their lives. So one doesn't have to do with another, but then a lot of guys really make this mistake of like, no, now I cannot be submissive because then that means I'm weak or I can't be dominant in other areas. I think there's a big mixture people do there.
Our ideas about masculinity and femininity often withhold us from things that are really nice. But still, if you do like things and you enjoy them and you give your submission, if I would give my, I don't have that much to give, but if I would be submissive and I would give my submission to you, Mia, and you would whip me or you would degrade me and you would feel good about that, and I could make you feel good about that, and I would do all your laundry and creaseless great, and you would be happy about that would be like a great gift that I, as a dominant man, am able to give you that and still be upright, be a dominant man, or be a submissive man, but be a man. And you probably, I don't know how much you're into degrading or sissifying, but maybe you'd like to play with that, and maybe you'd like to make me feminine, and I would be there doing in the sissy role, ironing your stuff, and that would be a great gift to you if that's important, if that's good for you. If it wasn't important to you whether I got dressed feminine or male, then probably we wouldn't click on this play. But both as a man or a woman, I still think it's still, if you have the guts to be what you want to be and to be for the other what you want, basically what you self want to be and what the other one likes you to be, I think that's a great gift.
Yeah, I think it's brave to even know oneself.
Yeah. It takes guts. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. It takes guts to say green. Okay, green, degrade me. Green, let me have it. I'm getting a gift as a sadist when somebody says that to me. male or female.
Yeah, but still, what type of people are mostly on your workshop? Some calm, quiet guys or wild, alpha, male, female type of people?
All over the place.
Yeah.
All over the place. Yeah. It's mostly it's intelligent people, because I try to talk a bit intelligent, and I try to explain things and help you with your understanding of things. Um, I'm not so much in just copy this and then that's too cheap for me. So most of my clients are rather intelligent. A lot of them are really alpha types, both in the submissive roles and in the dominant roles. Um, Sometimes people are, what I often say, they mix up their role with their the role with reality. Uh, as I said, it's a layer. We are equal, and upon that we put the topping. It's like a cake, and without any cake of equality, we can do the topping part. If you just do a lot of topping on a plate, it's uh, if you have this small layer of you, me, hot night, what can we do with it? How will you feel good about this tomorrow? What are things that shouldn't do for you to feel good about tomorrow? Then we can build a cake together. And maybe we have a very complex cake with kids and mortgages and banks. And we even have to take care that there's still room for a bit of topping in our cake. But there's always this equality beneath, this respect for the other one, who gives you their submissiveness to the submit, and respect for from the submissive towards the top, who takes the initiative and who thinks, well, okay, let me do this to you, which also takes guts. I mean, that's really the part of being dominant. Oh, I'd really like to do this, but ooh. Well, if I do it like this and I say, well, I really like to do this to you,
No.
most likely I won't get away with
Well,
it.
I really think that being dominant is a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
It's actually you are the one who are responsible for the pleasure of another, but not only, you also need to make sure that this person doesn't lose a limb during the play or
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah.
But you know what, I'm actually curious, can it be taught? Is it like you're either submissive or dominant, and that's a part of your personality, and maybe it's hidden deep within and you don't get to experience it or realize it until later in life? Or is it something that, let's say we have a couple, one is into kink and more dominance and the other one is pure vanilla, can it be taught? Is it something that
The
can be
brain
taught?
is a flexible plastic thing.
Yeah,
A
neuroplasticity.
lot of
I'm
things
aware
can
of
be
that.
taught. So the answer is yo, or nes. A little bit of yes and a little bit of no. If it's really strange to you and you don't have anything that remotely feel like being kinky, and you feel like being, well, that's not true, because I've seen people thinking of themselves as being asexual, finding out BDSM and suddenly being hot as fuck. But if it's not your thing, well, you can learn things, but you got a long way to go.
Yeah, because it
If you
also is about
combine,
energy, right? It is about energy, like tantric sex. It's as well, there is some energy involved in the play.
I well, since we can't measure the energy, I dislike the energy concept, because I always say, where's the energy? To show it to me, then I'll believe it. But I do think there is intention, and intention can be felt as energy. Intention can give you room to things, and give myself that being dominant is giving myself room to do shit I wouldn't have thought that were possible in the past. But still, the other one likes it, and actually I do like it too. So I want to learn new things. I want to learn new techniques. I want to give myself room to tomorrow look back on this and think, well, this was great, real new, but hot. Um, but so the energy concept is always a little bit a problem for me. But there is a lot of intention, and I do think you need the right intention. You need to create energy by letting go your own brakes and daring to step on the gas, and therefore the two of you can create this playing field where energy flows and intention flows. And it's because of the good intention that I am a sadist, but I want it to feel good for you. I want this relation where you look back on it and you want to come back to me. Therefore, I create a situation that has energy in it and makes makes me do things to you that you, in hindsight, want done. It may be that the next morning you think, "Ah, what did you do? Fucker, that's blue and black and blue." But in 3 days, I want you to think, "I did that." So if after 3 days it isn't fun, it's probably never going to be fun.
That's like my relationship with my dance pole. Whenever I climb, I'm like, oh, bruises, come on, bruises again. But after I do a good element, I'm happy I did it. So
Yeah. You pay everything got a price. Everything got everything. They say the sun comes up for free. If you're my age, you realize it's every day you pay with a fucking day.
there's something about that.
Nothing.
But what time if I'm just a beginner and
Yeah.
I want to start to explore these things?
Yeah.
Is there some beginner guides or some links, website literature, or I
There
just
is.
need you to teach me that stuff?
I like to be important, but no, I'm not that important. You need people like me. Because
Okay.
there are gurus who say this is the only way it should be done, and BDSM is this and that. And you need to have a bit of intelligent people who say, well, it's what axes are interesting for you. It is BDSM axes. There are people, for instance, there's this guy who likes to be kicked in the balls, and he likes the pain. He really enjoys that. And he wants to be bound, not because he enjoys to be bound, but because he's afraid he's going to hit you as a dominatrix is if he gets so much pain. He said, my body is like I could hit you back, and I don't want to take that risk. But this domination submission thing, and suddenly people want to have high heels. I'm not about fetish, and some people they think, well, you're a worm. I'm not a worm. I give you your pleasure of kicking me in the balls. That's that's I know a dominant, and there's a really dominant guy who wants him. He really is a masochist. He's really dominant, and he tells you exactly as a woman how to scratch and how to bite his balls and do it hard because I want the pain. If you understand that's all different axes, and it's your choice which ones you want to open up or which ones you want to close. This gives a flavor to the world that's way more than if you just think BDSM is this, and as a good slave, I should be there and I should be able to. Uh, you also recognize a lot of red flags. A lot of dominants say you should be as a real slave. You should do this. Fuck them. If it's not hot for you, don't. If you like to be whatever the fuck is a real slave, then enjoy it. Be that. Uh, But it's your choice. It's you enjoy your life and you can do the things you want to. And it's a route you're going to take, which hopefully takes a lifetime. And you're going to find all kinds of new partners and new things that are fun to do. So let's start with, as a beginner, what is fun to do? And let's go from there.
So what is fun to do, Bella? We're all ears. Come on.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not
No,
that deep. I'm
no.
sorry.
You're not making this podcast and not knowing at all.
I agree.
I'm not going to put you on the spot here, but
Thank
it.
you.
I'm
But I will. Okay, I
Uh,
won't.
you should talk to me about that later when we're off camera. But I do think there are things you have thought of enjoying your body that would be kind of dirty or different or whatever. Those are the things that makes you feel awkward, and they're a gift. Sexual presents are wrapped in awkwardness.
And they make you giggle just a little.
Nah,
Wow. But why still that topics are taboo?
because we want to be normal, we want to fit in. That's the
But
there.
so many people doing that, but so
But there's two reasons in the world where we want to have relationships. Esther Perel talks about that really nicely. We want to be ourselves, and we want people to see who you are, and you want to shine and be whatever the fuck you are. But you always also want to belong to. And how can I fit in? And how can I be not special, but how can I be just in relationship with you and it's safe? And these two things cannot be combined. They cannot. If you are in a relationship because you want to always be in that relationship and you want it to always be safe, in a few years you will notice that I've done things, I've let things slip. I want to do this. If you always do whatever the fuck you want and always go and don't want to be no shame and everything, I do everything, then most likely I had a therapist in my therapy. I had it was wonderful what she said. It was really important to me. It was way back in the 90s, and she said, "Okay, I've done this Gestalt therapy, and I've drank salted water to vomit and to feel like I don't want this, and I've told everybody exactly how I feel and every emotion. I created a big thing out of it, and I am so fucking much myself. There is no partner that wants me, and I'm 55, and I'm sad about it."
Hmm.
And then I was still am. It's both areas. We want to belong, we want relation, and we want to be ourselves. And where are we in our equilibrium? Where do we want to go? But you can't have both. Everything has a price.
But I think it's also a problem in general of people being too codependent. So people go in a relationship out of, I want to compliment you and I want to be whole with you. I don't want to be whole with anyone. I am whole. I want to have some other whole person next to me who's going to walk the path beside me. And so when two really authentic people get into a relationship, that's more of a healthy relationship in any kind of way, whether it's going to be just a
Exactly.
vanilla or BDSM. But when you have people go even really young in relationships, and that's when they don't even know themselves anymore enough. So
You only
I
have
don't
Disney as a
think,
relationship.
yeah.
How do you have a relationship? Well, get conquered and then be happy ever after somehow.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah, we
teaches you
should
how much
see
work
things.
there is on maintaining happiness
Yeah,
in that happily ever after.
yeah.
I blame it on Disney. I don't know about you, but
I,
Disney.
I think we should sue him. I mean, yeah, the things he shows us about uh, living in with 7 small men and
No. I just like the idea of men on their knees, that's like Cinderella.
okay.
I'm more in the Cinderella.
No, be careful with buying apples.
That's a Snow White.
Yeah, that's Snow. No.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But 7 small men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about? Can you tell me what? Okay, leave it Cinderella out of
Yeah.
this. What about this pandemic situation? Are you having online workshops?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this
There are
work well
things
enough?
that
Yeah.
you have to practice, but there's a lot of things you can talk about with people, you can show to people. If you really imagine me and I'm taking this axe and I'm cutting down this, if I really express that, you can almost feel it in your body that you're doing it as well. You can use that with people. I can give a wrong example of playing with a whip, and I can show if you do it with whole your body, that's a different thing. And you see people, and I would have loved to be there in the room and practice it with you, but now I understand what you mean, and I can still practice it with you. It's different. Online training is different from in the room training, but you can still do a lot of things. And I'm not so much in needle play. I think that's really specific, and I should have a different setup and a good close-up camera to show that and to teach that. So I'm not doing needle play as a workshop. Well, basically, I'm doing the theoretical part of needle play as a workshop, and yeah, when we're later we'll have time, people can come by and drop by, and I can show that to them. Whereas a lot of people don't even come by then. They have seen it, they have understood it, and feel the room to play with themselves and their partners. Because techniques is really dry. If you learn to wield a whip, play on cushions. Don't start hitting on your husband right away.
Depends what
Learn.
he did that day.
But where you learn this stuff? Is
Yeah.
there some school for kinky coaches or or just workshops
I know
and
that's kinky coaching is not is apart from being from learning techniques, and I'm actually working on yeah, things that would be important for kink aware coaches to do coaching, which is sometimes a bit of relationship coaching, but also special things. A lot of people have this idea of I'm getting out of the closet and then I'm all free. No, I'm getting out of a closet with certain people, and then there is still a whole world that feels differently about my sex and about my sexuality, and I still have to cope with them. So, baby, I often say, getting out of the closet has a revolving door. People go out and in and out and in, and if you understand that part of yourself, you can coach people of getting out and don't minding to get in again and then getting out again, because you don't have to stay in when you got in again. People are thinking in black and white. I should get out of the closet or not. No, it's a revolving door. Where do I want to get out of the closet? Is it important to get out of the closet? Do all my clients need to know that I'm a kink aware therapist, or do all my colleagues need to know that I'm a kinkster? Uh, some people have lost their jobs over, yeah, basically not a really wise way of getting out of the closet.
Yeah, it's not something people talk about. That's why we are talking about it,
Yeah,
especially in our country. This is gonna be
oh
a
yeah,
yeah.
shocker for
yeah,
real.
yeah. Yeah, but I think it's great we have the guts to talk about it, and that we have the guts to help people with it, and that we have the guts to say, well, you should learn techniques. It's not that you're just like Disney, and then you're happily ever after and know all sexual techniques. Uh, if you ever done a threesome and you suddenly notice how many legs there are on just a half a meter, that's really something to think about. Where do we leave our legs? No, I should have a threesome and then all be well.
Yeah.
Uh, what do you need to not feel left out if I'm giving the other one attention? How do you, where will you step in and claim your attention if I happen to be so overwhelmed by the hotness of the new one? How can we do this? That needs talk.
There's a lot of talk going in, even in open relationships, and that's another topic we will have, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, so I can't help but ask, what did you think of 50 Shades of Grey? Because everybody is just hating the movie. Everybody who is in BDSM, any kind of connection. So I want to know your take, your honest.
I like porn. And basically it's a kind of household female porn.
Really?
If you look at porn as something to enjoy, if you look at porn being something like the movie Speed, you won't learn to drive when you look at the movie Speed. You Fast and Furious. I mean, you
Okay.
learn to look at the movie. You don't learn how to drive it by looking at Fast and Furious. It's fun to look at it, and it's ridiculous, and it doesn't match, and all kind of ridiculous things happen. And that's the same with 50 Shades of Grey. It's a lie. He grabs her pussy. She says no. He grabs her pussy, says, "You're wet, so you're hot, you're horny." And she says no, and he says, "Your body doesn't lie." Her body doesn't lie. Her body expects friction. Well, kind of logical if you're grabbed between the legs. So if the whole thing ends up to be a dysfunctional relationship, it's already in the start. Then you go together into this relationship, and well, then we don't listen to safe words. Well, nice safety over there. I have a helicopter, so I can do all kinds of things that aren't consensual, not relational, strange.
It's a helicopter. What do you
That's
expect?
fine with me.
Yeah.
Hello.
I have a helicopter, so I can fuck you over. But reading it's he's got a helicopter and he takes her with me in the air. The lights are beautiful with it.
It's so romantic.
It's really dirty romantic. A lot of people love it. Okay, but don't mistake it for reality. Enjoy it, just like porn. Enjoy it, but it's not a handbook or a how-to. Actually, it's a rather bad book if you're looking at how-to. It's not how you should do it.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for your honest opinion.
Yeah. We can end with this nice word.
Thank you
Well,
so much for your time.
Cool.
Yeah.
It was nice to see you.
I will give URLs for people to go to, where to go to. Would be great if you could perhaps move that in somewhere.
Please do. We share it under our podcast episode, and we share it on our Instagram. And also, you can say now all your handles if you want.
Please
I'll
do that.
give you my handles, and so that will be easiest.
All right.
There's on Linktree, but I will give you, that's most easy because we're in English, so a lot of my texts are in Dutch.
Yeah.
So I would
We
have
noticed.
Yeah, we had to do Google Translation to find out some things, to make a little research on you.
Well, Hans, thank you very much for being our guest in our podcast.
That would be all for this Wednesday. Please share, like, leave a comment. Even if you didn't like the episode, feel free to leave the comment. We are totally into some constructive criticism. Bye!